Hello friends, and welcome back to the Mothership. Today we're going to be smoking up our very own chicken shawarma style kebabs with a homemade tahini sauce. Let's get started. First things first, we want to get our chicken all cleaned up and get our marinade on here. You can buy bone-in chicken thighs if you'd like and remove the bones. I actually didn't have that option at my local grocery store, so I bought boneless. They're a little more expensive, but a little bit less extra work. We're just going to remove all this kind of gross fat on here and just kind of get rid of all the stuff that's not too pretty. I'm working with about 1.5 pounds of boneless chicken thighs. If you want to do double the amount, obviously double the amount of ingredients. What we're going to do after we've got these cleaned up is we're going to kind of cut them into about 1-inch cubes. Doesn't have to be pretty. Just as close to about 1-inch little sections as we can. That'll kind of help us recreate that shawarma experience as close as we can on a kebab. Chicken is all cubed up, so now it's time to get our marinade together, which is pretty easy. We're just simply going to take our Greek yogurt. Goes without saying, guys, make sure that you get plain Greek yogurt. You really don't want to have any shenanigans in there. Take all of our spices. I know there's a lot of spices. And some of them are a little harder to get than others. I'm looking at you, Cardamom. We are going to just mix this all together. You should be looking at something kind of like a paste. What I'm going to do is actually just add a little bit of water in here to get it closer to a easier marinade consistency. But we do want it to be kind of pasty, just not nearly, that sticky. With a splash of water in, what we're going to do now is take all of our chicken, put it into a dish. Then we are just going to spoon our mixture on top. Now, just going to mix it all together, get everything nice and coated. This is where gloves really come in handy, guys. Now with everything nice and happily coated, I'm going to put a lid on this and toss it into the fridge to marinate for maybe about 3 hours. While we're waiting, let's toss together a quick tahini sauce. To do so, we're going to take our tahini, which you can pretty much get at every grocery store now. If you can't find any of the peanut butter, you'll probably find it in the international section. Let's toss in some lemon juice, a little bit of salt, and then 2 garlic cloves that I smoked up yesterday. And we're just going to give it a good mix. And this will be a perfect dipping sauce for our chicken. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what shawarma is, basically it's a style of cooking where there's essentially a giant rotisserie, and they take different cuts of meat, different types of meat, smash them all together, rotate it, and when they cut it off for you, they take layers off, and you get different types of meat, different types of textures from the different cuts of meat, and it really comes together to be a really great experience. What we're going to try and do with our kebabs here is we're going to take our little cubes of chicken, and we're going to push them together nice and tight together. Then we're just going to fill these skewers up all the way before they go onto the smoker. So I don't want to have any space like I usually kind of do with my kebabs. I want some space in there so that everything cooks evenly, but I want to kind of push it together kind of like so, and I'm going to fill it all the way up. Now with everything skewered up, I'm going to get the smoker on at 225, and then we're going to put these on. Smoker's running at 225, and I have our chicken on the top shelf. Right now, they've been on for a little over an hour, and they're probably at about 115 degrees. I'm looking at anything over 165. It's thigh meat, so it can take a little bit more heat. You can probably go to 170, maybe 180 if you really want to. I'm going to pull them off probably around 170. They're smaller pieces, so they shouldn't take as long as a full thigh. At this point, I am just going to close it and wait for it to probe at the temperature I'm looking at. And not really concern myself with bumping temperatures or anything like that. I don't really want to char on this because I don't want our Greek yogurt to burn. So I might flip them every once in a while, but otherwise just looking for temperature right now. Now I'm going to be honest, guys, these chicken thighs tossed me a curveball. They were on for about 3 hours. I honestly expected about an hour based on the size of the cuts we were doing on the chicken thighs, but they did take a full 3 hours at 225 degrees. And as always, I am absolutely starving. They smell great. Everything looks great. It's time to take the old chomp. So the interesting thing about chicken shawarma is it's kind of cut off the rotisserie, I guess as it is. And the point is to get all kinds of different cuts of the meat, different kinds of textures. It's not really going to work as well from the kebab, But I'm going to do my best here and just get kind of a little cross section cut off, like so. Then I'm going to take some of our chicken, give it a go with our tahini. Let's try it. This is what I was looking for, guys. I had an urge for some Middle Eastern food, and I really wanted chicken shawarma. And being that it would have taken me driving all the way into Boston to get some, I decided to make my own, and this is fantastic. This is a different flavor profile than we usually do here. This is probably closer to my lamb ribs that I've done in the past, but it really is fantastic. I love Mediterranean food. I love Middle Eastern food. I love most foods. And if you're looking to change up your weekend cook or just do something a little bit different with your chicken, this is absolutely a good pick. Some of the spices are a little bit harder to come by, but I'm sure you can find them in your local grocery store. Definitely give it a try, guys. What do you think? Do you want me to do some more Mediterranean, Middle Eastern food? Do you do something different with your chicken thighs? Have you done shawarma before and had it come out differently? Let me know in the comments below. What's your favorite thing to cook, guys? As always, the YouTube jazz, comment, like, subscription, all that. And most importantly, cook something fantastic, guys, and I'll see you on our next cook.